Welcome on everybody to the herd Sunday morning race, and here we go. And they are off. Following Dominique Lacey here. He was one of the A's in the race. Looks like he's a little way back. Let's move up a little bit here. Hey, we're up here in P10. Looks like these guys are going pretty good. Oh, I got Colin Saunders is in the race. I did not know he was going to be in there, so actually showing two. Looks like Noah's in here too. Let's follow Colin. Awesome. I didn't know we'd have some OTR boys in the house. So watching Colin here. The Colonel. It's like a really big front group is forming, stand together. Colin's up front, taking the lead. Let's see if Noah's actually riding. Yep, Noah's in here too. Well, Noah may be up here hoping to snag a top finish and move up the standings a little bit. Trying out my new recording suite here, OBS Studios. Seems like it's a lot better than what I was using before, so here we are following Noah. Okay, pretty good group forming here. Looks like a selection's pretty much been made. Let's see how many guys are in this group. So it looks like 35 guys, and they've already got about an 8-minute gap. Looks like one guy 2 seconds back trying to chase on. Don't see that happening. So they've got it whittled down. There was 203 riders in this field. Huge group, and they've already got it whittled down to 34 guys. Let's go back up and see what the Colonel's doing. Looks like he's staying right up front. Even this front crew's starting to stretch out pretty good now. Somebody's must be putting the hammer down. Back to Noah here, so watching Noah. Just on the number 1 camera view. Now it's rotating around. This Peter Limstrom guy's one of the A's. I think it's Peter. Looks like he's right up front. Doesn't look like anybody's hammering too much at the front. Just about ready to head over the leg snapper here. Let's get back to Noah. See how Noah's going to do. He's back a little ways. Okay, here we go. Leg snapper first time. Noah's a P25. Ramping it up to 6.3, 6.9 watts per kilogram. Yep, he's moving right up the field. Field's starting to stretch out pretty good. Power ups are flying. So Noah's up to P7. I think 7 or 8. I think he might even be a little bit farther up than that. A little bit of a gap forming up. Boy, these front guys are really hammered down. Erickson. Colin's right up front too. He's 3 seconds ahead of Noah. Let's take a look and see where he's at. So Colin goes over in P3. Erickson and Hebenstreit are on the front. Looks like Noah is about 5 seconds off. Is Colin going to grab onto these guys? Looks like he's just about there. 1 second. We got D. Elvin Fellow trying to bridge up. He's rolling out 6.8 watts per kilogram on the descent. Colin is just about ready to make contact with Heibenstreit. And then Erickson has still got a little bit of a gap. Colin's rolling straight through Heibenstreit, making his way up to Erickson. Looks like Noah's still holding that 5 second gap. Looks like there's about 4 guys at 5 seconds. Let's go back and take a look at see how Noah's group's doing. Yep, so these guys got a group together and looks like they're going pretty good. So they will likely make contact with this front group. And then that looks like that's going to be a selection of about 8 guys, 9 guys. This Smith guy is dropping back a little bit. Okay, so yep, here's our front selection of about 8 or 9 guys. So boy, that leg snapper really took its toll. We went from like 30 plus guys down to 8 or 9 guys here. And the next guy is 8 seconds back, and then 13, and those guys are by themselves, so we really don't see them catching on. So Noah's settling in here, getting a break on under 200 watts, so he's just cruising. 143 beats a minute. Noah really knows how to meter his power, as he likes to say, or measure off his power, so he's only going as hard as he needs to go. I noticed last night in Mike's video he was down in the 140s in this area as well. So after chasing on, after doing the leg snapper, he's already got his heart rate down to 139 beats a minute right now. Cruising along at 27 watts, letting everybody else do the work. It looks like these guys are all taking it easy, only going 40 kph. They know they've got the selection made, so they're saving it for the second time up the leg snapper, which is obviously going to be the deciding factor. So actually, Ericsson is putting the hammer down a little bit here. Then this Chinese guy bikes home. Just chasing him down a little bit, but he's actually sitting up. So Noah's seeing the warning signs. He's on to the bikes home's rear wheel, and here comes Colin. So these guys are seeing Ericsson try to go for a solo flyer. Boy, I don't know about that idea. Going for a solo flyer with a whole lap to go. Guy definitely looks like he's strong, but I don't know if he's that strong. Let's just see what happens. He was holding 5 watts per kilogram for about a minute and a half, and looks like he's settled in a little bit. Noah's dropped back. All these guys are going pretty good though. Colin took a pull. Looks like Noah's in P10 now, and there's actually a guy, D. Norman, British guy, is only 3 seconds back, so those guys taking little breaks, letting this guy get back on. D. Norman's rolling at about 4.4 watts per kilogram, which doesn't seem like a ton, but he's definitely bringing these guys back all by himself, so that's a pretty amazing feat. So it looks like these guys are closing the gap to Mr. Ericsson up front here. He's still rolling along in high 4 watts per kilogram range. Following C. Barber here, one of them cryo weenies. Don't know about those guys, but I'm glad I got up and captured this for a couple of our stalwart OTR boys getting their race on this early Sunday morning. I think Noah's on the west coast, so this was at 6:30 a.m. 7:30 a.m. for me, which is way earlier than I like to get up on a Sunday morning, but wanted to try out this new recording suite. So these guys are reeled in Ericsson, so they're all back together here. Looks like Mr. Norman got on. He's taking a little bit of a breather, so we should have like 11 guys. Something to that effect. Trying to find the back of the... Oh, so this is actually the group behind. So we've got a little bit of a chase group of about 6 guys that are not too terribly far behind. Noah's in P11. He's on the tail end of the lead group. These 6 guys are reeling these guys in, so let's see what they can do. Got just a couple more kilometers before our last time up the leg snapper. Got another Swede, Lindstrom, in that chase group. Noah's made his way up to P3, P4 here. The Colonel's right on his wheel. Ericsson's just sitting in now, taking a break, getting ready to put the hammer down on the leg snapper. See if these chasers are going to latch on. This D. Hume guy, British guy, he seems to be really driving it. It shows he's riding a TT bike, which I find hard to believe. Either that or he's a Zwift Power weenie. He's definitely the one that's driving the pace of this group, so if he's a Zwift Power guy that's got stupid, crazy power numbers, then he's pulling these other 5 guys up, definitely affecting the race, giving these 5 guys a chance to be in the front group. But we're not going to judge him too harshly unless we know what's going on. And I did not look at him in the pre-race list, but it looks like he's going to drag these guys back. He's doing like 6 watts per kilogram on a TT bike, for hell's sake. So yep, looks like he's dragging these boys up. So we just got another 6 or 7 guys added to the 11 that were already up front. Let's go back and see. Let's follow Colin here and see how things are looking. So here we go. We're just about ready to cross the bridge for the leg snapper for the final time. And somebody had the time to type in time for the herd again. And here we go. Looks like Colin's in good position. Not seeing Noah right off the top of my head. He usually puts the hammer down when Colin's pretty much taking the front. D. Elvin Fellow taking a flyer. Ericsson's right behind him. Both guys on orange numbers. Looks like they're trying to make a break. Colin's staying right with them for the most part. Heibenstreit tailing off. Colin's dropping him a little bit. Colin's just holding that solid 7.4 watts per kilogram. Drop back to 6.3 as they roll over the top. So once again, exactly like the last lap, Colin goes over in P3. Let's take a look and see how Noah's doing. Looks like Noah's in P4, so he's about 2 seconds behind Colin. And the front three guys are all spread out. Looks like we got a group of about 5 or 6 guys here that Noah's at the front of. Got some super tuck action going. And it looks like they're just about to make contact with Colin, join up. And the front two guys, Erickson and DL and Bello, are coming together on the front. Let's see if these guys put the hammer down. They got about a 4-second gap on this group. That cryo guy I mentioned before, C. Barber, Heinz Streit, the Chinese guy, Bike Home. So all the top guys in this this selection. We've got about 6 guys in this group, 6 or 7, and then we've got the 2 guys off the front. These guys have got it down to a 3-second gap now. So it looks like that probably will bring these guys in. We're going to have a sprint between 8 guys. And the next guy behind Noah is 8 seconds back. A couple guys at 9 seconds back. So this is definitely the final selection. 2 guys up front are banging out, trying to hold on to a 2-second advantage. Looks like Mr. Bike Home is bridging the gap to him solo. Noah's hanging back, staying on Barber's wheel, so we got a 1-second gap with now 3 together up front. Colin's coming to the front, putting down some bigger numbers. The 3 guys up front have 2 seconds now, so they're actually starting to stretch it out. But they're not putting out big numbers, so they might be sitting up. Yep. Colin's brought him back. Colin's putting out 6 watts per kilogram. He's going to close that gap. I'm guessing maybe Noah and Colin are in communication, and Noah's got his teammate taking the front. We got a big move here from, who's Black Kid? Thurkelson, the other Swedish guy I mentioned. He's gone to the front, got a 1-second gap. Now Bike Home, the Chinese guy, has taken that up. I think we just got maybe a kilometer to go, if even that, 600 or 700 meters for the final. Coming up on lap riders, maybe? Boy, that's crazy. Yeah, guy on a TT bike tearing it up at like 1 watt per kilogram. Looks like Noah's in perfect position. Looks like we're coming down to the final like 300 meters. D. Norman on a flyer. Power-ups flying. Here goes Noah. Unleashing the sprint. Erickson's on it hard though too. Can Noah come around? Looks like P3 maybe. Yep, Erickson takes it. Bike Home in second and Noah in third, and it looks like Colin came around for about 4th or 5th. Nice work, boys. Way to go. All right. That might have been Noah's best finish of the weekend. I believe this was at least his 3rd race, so nice work, guys. I'm glad we had some teammates and I had a chance to film it. So On that note, we'll sign off. Go take a look at what we got. Just trying to learn this whole crazy recording stuff. This is Darren Boyd, Team OTR Racing, presenting the Herd Beginner Race Series on Sunday morning. Thanks all and have a good Sunday. Talk to you soon.